Yesterday, I started a project in my house, pruning a bunch of trees. It's really, it's hard to say pruning because these trees are like, I'm cutting down lengths that are 20 plus feet high in the sky, and we're talking a couple inches round at the diameter.
Can I ask you the first obvious question?
And I had a buddy that had a couple of battery-powered saws, so I thought, this would be awesome. So I thought it would be easy. It was not as easy as I thought.
Can I ask you the first obvious question?
Yeah, you can in a second. Yeah, I had a chainsaw and I had a sawzall with a pruning blade on it. Ended up being the sawzall was a little bit better. And I got about 20 trees now that I need to get rid of. What's your question?
Why are you doing this, and why is your landlord not doing this?
Because he's a good guy. I've been there 6 years. He's raised the rent one time, $100. I told him I wanted to do it. I said, I'll do it. It's fine. I take care of my own place. When I run a place, I treat it like it's my place.
What if he raised your rent right after you did this project? How mad would you be?
I would take all the limbs and take him to his house and throw him in his driveway. No, but that's my. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't think that's going to happen. But
it was like 2 days.
He's a good landlord. When I've needed to borrow a tool to do something, he's the first. He's like, I'll bring it to you.
Did he give you these electric saws?
No, he didn't. Actually, I didn't even ask him.
If he had the electric saws, I'd be like, well, if you had the electric saws, why didn't you do it? It's your property.
Well, it's not a big deal.
So you're paying.
Part of my deal is to keep up the yard, right?
Is it? Was that part of the deal?
I don't know. Certainly, my wife says it's mowing the grass, but
you pay his mortgage and you do the maintenance on the property, increasing the value of it.
He should be paying me, right? I need to send him a bill.
Exactly.
But maybe I should call him for this one, because now I thought I was going to just cut all this stuff, all these trees up into small pieces, throw it in my yard waste. But, oh my God, there's just so much. It's ridiculous. The stack of trees is about 4.5 feet high by about 4 feet wide.
Laying on their ends? laying on their sides? Laying down, right?
Laying down, yeah, on the ground, and then, stacked on top of each other. 4 feet wide, 4.5, 5 feet tall. Maybe not 5, but like 4 feet tall. And so I think I want to get...
How big in diameter?
I want a wood chipper, man.
How big in diameter is the thickest part? Like 6?
About like
4?
Most of them are about like that.
So about between 4 and 6?
Yeah. Now, I know you want me to do it by hand.
You just do a handsaw and then stack it into your...
Because I have other things to do. I have a life. I'm
yard
very busy.
waste.
I'm a very busy person. Plus,
it's good exercise.
I want to use a wood chipper.
You just want to use a wood chipper because you want to use a wood chipper. Right?
Of course I want to use a wood chipper.
It's cool to use a wood chipper. But
anybody got a wood chipper? Give us a call. 805-543-3693. I'll work a deal. Can I do that? That's fair, right?
I don't care what you do.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking, it's legal, right? We could do deals here. They do that show all the time. It's, they don't, see, I'm looking at places that rent stuff and they don't have wood chippers. There's a place that's United Rentals.
I think you could do that with a handsaw.
They even have backhoes.
I bought a handsaw.
I got to have a wood chipper.
I do this. Well, I used to do this all the time on the tree that we would prune in the front yard. And granted, our wood pieces were probably, at the widest, 3 to 4 inches in diameter. You're talking about 4 to 6. But I used to use a handsaw that I got like at a garage sale for $2. And that thing, we use it to trim the Christmas tree every year, and we use it to cut off the base of the Christmas tree to get it into the stand and blah, 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 all that stuff. Yeah. It's never right when you get it home. And it's good. It's good exercise. Plus, you could do some damage with the yard waste, because how tall is your yard waste been? It's got.
You know what I've done? I've got a couple, because I said, "Hey, I need a bigger one," and I never took the old one out. So now I got 2.
Even better. You could knock that out.
Well, that's where I'm going to put the wood chips, because then I can fill it up.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? Why do that when you don't need to do that? Like, a wood chipper is an expensive piece of equipment. And
is it? I don't know. I've never looked into renting
for
one.
You. The
equipment and tools.
The people, when they take the yard waste away, they'll do that for you. They'll take those pieces of wood and put them into a chipper, and then you're just done with it. You stack it into the yard waste. That's what the yard waste is for. That is the definition of yard waste.
Here's a guy that says, a guy in Atascadero. Yeah, I live in the 5 cities. I don't want to drive all the way up there to hook up and bring it all the way down the grade. I don't know if that's going to work. Anyways, I guess I'll just have to keep looking this up. Anybody know anybody with a wood chipper?
You tow a boat around all the time. I mean, you tow unnecessary things around all the time, but you could probably tow a wood chipper.
What are you talking about? That's not unnecessary. See, these wood chippers, they do have some, but they're very small. I want the big ones like you see on the side of the road. That's what I need to do. I need to wait till the next time those guys are pruning the trees out on the main drag on El Camino, and I'll just go down there and go, hey, what are you guys doing for lunch? You want to make $50? You can get $50.
You really are going to pay somebody $50 to do this?
I'll give you $50, and you know what? It may take you 10 minutes. It may take you 20. I don't know, because I mean, with the big professional one, I bet you in 10 minutes it's done, and then it's out of my hair.
Okay,
it's out of my hair.
$50. I'll come over and I'll saw it up into pieces and put it in your yard waste. For $50. No, I mean, it's exercise. It's good exercise.
Can you guarantee you'll get it all done in one day?
If you have 2 yard wastes,
I guarantee
maybe
it'll take you hours, and you would never have enough
I don't
capacity.
Think you think it takes hours because you look at that stack, but then once you start getting into it, I bet you could have that thing knocked out in an hour.
All right, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're on the air. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, lost you. Let's see. Tim writes in. He says, rent a chipper from the rental depot, guys. Grover Tools rents full-size chippers. That's what I'm looking for. Grover Tools. That's where I live. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Don knows the guy that owns a guy that has a tree service company. Hook it up, dog.
Did you see that video of the guy?
I'm going to take a video of me chipping all my wood, and I'm going to post it, and you're going to be jealous. I guarantee you.
Dude, did you see that video of the guy cutting the top off of the palm tree?
No.
Oh, my God. So he had to climb up to the top of one of these big palm trees, right?
Uh-huh.
And so he climbed up to the top of it, and then he had to cut off all the fronds off the top of it for whatever the reason was. I don't know if they were diseased or what the case was, but dude, this is insane. Okay. I mean, it was this guy, when he cut it off, it flung the tree back and he had to hold on to the tight to the top.
To the base of the tree, right?
To the top of the tree.
Yeah, but I mean, he's holding on to the tree, not
to
what
the
fell,
trunk, to the trunk. Okay. And he started going back and forth. This happened in Redlands.
Will share that? I want to watch it.
I was going to share it yesterday. I didn't really have a reason to, but since you're talking about cutting trees, I'll definitely share it because it is insane.
Now you watch the logging shows, right? Or you've seen some logging stuff. You realize that you got to cut a tree a certain way to get it to fall a certain way in a certain direction. Even if it's leaning in one direction, you can get it to go another direction. But you got to be very careful because you're not paying attention. Next thing you know, and it's going to land on you.
Before we go,
my dog George is running around yesterday. I mean, he's literally like, "Come on, try to hit me!" And then he runs out of the way, and then he grabs the limb and he starts taking off with the limbs, these huge limbs, down the rest of the driveway. I'm like, "What are you doing, you crazy dog?" Thought it was some kind of game. Anyways, post that. We'll check it out. All right,
I need you to watch it before we go here because while we're in the moment, because your reaction will be amazing to it, but the problem is my computer.
Yeah, we could be here all day.
Super duper slow right now for whatever the reason is. Okay, I'm just going to post it without a description or anything else. This is insane what happens with this guy. When he cuts the top of the tree off, it is nuts. Okay, there. Go. Check it out. Yeah, so this guy he's a tree trimmer, and this is his job. I don't know how you don't realize that that's going to happen to that tree if that's your job, or if you were just willing to take the chances to do that.
Is there swearing in this? Oh, no, it's a news story.
It's a news story. It is insane.
Oh, there's no audio. Oh, no. Oh, my God!
That looks like it could be a new ride.
Oh, my God. Hold on, let's try that again. Oh, wait. Oh, because he's so heavy.
Yes.
Oh.
He weighed down the top of it.
Oh, it's like a catapult almost.
Yeah.
And he's holding on.
Wow.
So when he cut it off, all the weight of all the fronds that he cut off the top.
You may have seen this wild ride on social media, but did you?
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So he gets up there, and the top of the tree, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's weighed over by his weight and the top of the palm tree, which is all the weight. So once he cuts it off, the freaking thing goes flying back up. Oh my God. Holding on
for dear life, too.
I hope he was strapped in. He probably wasn't.
His Redlands tree trimmer has gone viral online.
Oh, he's a professional tree trimmer, so he's
which is precariously bending down as soon as.
Hold on!
Whoa! Now that's a right at the fair, right there.
And recorded that scream as well, and watching.
Look at him! Hold on, man. He's got his legs, his arms. You know that guy. Check your shorts, bro.
Oh my God! You could see how they would withstand a hurricane.
We've all done stupid stuff, right?
But that's his job. How does he mess that up?
Maybe he didn't mess that up. Maybe that's just part of the gig, man.
Yesterday, that was not included into the 2. So actually, there was 3 yesterday that they were thinking that the negative was a false negative, but then the positive was a false positive. But then it was confirmed this morning that that positive was indeed true. I don't understand the gray area of all this. Like
what does this mean
joked about yesterday?
What does this
but
mean?
Yet another Titans player has tested positive for COVID. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but the Titans had like a workout during their off week, and it was not authorized by the NFL. So it could be that the Buffalo Bills are gifted a win this week.
So this is almost like
the NFL is
like Tennessee didn't show up and
yes.
Buffalo gets a win and Tennessee has to take a loss.
NFL is talking about punishing the Tennessee Titans for having an unauthorized gathering.
They have proof of this?
They
must if they came to.
Yeah, they went to another facility. Their facility was closed, but some of the players got together.
No news really needs any proof anymore.
To another facility.
It's just whatever somebody says.
And well, I mean, that's what the NFL Network is reporting.
I know. I'm just making a joke about the regular news. All right. So yeah. Okay. You know what? Hey, we've closed the facility. We don't, and they've told them not to hang out. Right? They said, social distance, all that stuff, because players have gotten it. So do your thing to make sure we can stop the spread. And then a handful of players got together and did a workout together. I don't know if I disagree with this. I mean, and now you can't play. So So my question is, though, is it these players that got together for this workout that have COVID?
Well, I mean,
that's what you need to find out.
Some of those people that were in the workout are the ones testing positive for.
Oh, it is.
COVID.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, there you go. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, I think that's the best way, because you can't postpone another game. I mean, there's, you've got a full schedule. You've got all these other 32 teams. I mean, you got all these teams that are trying to vie for.
Sent a memo to the teams, all the teams this week, saying that violations of the COVID-19 protocol, which this was seen as a violation of the COVID-19 protocol, could result in losing draft picks and potential forfeitures of games.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Trying to avoid this route. So far,
we're trying to punish them. I get it.
It's possible that this is the only option, as they seem to be the fly in the ointment on Mike Pence's head. Does he use ointment?
No, it's just a fly on the head.
I know, but that hair sits pretty.
The funniest post I saw was from one of our friends down in L.A., our buddy Ken in L.A. Mm. He's like, theme song for tonight's debate, pretty fly for a white guy. Actually, you know what? We're going to play that coming up. We got that Offspring song. That's pretty funny. But I agree. This is, listen, if you were told not to get together and then people went and got together and then you've spreaded the disease within more members of your team, then, I mean, come on, what do you want to happen? I mean, you got to take the loss. Buffalo gets the win, and, hopefully you learn your lesson.
Yesterday, there was a lot of talk about,
I don't know what other option you have. I just don't.
Stephon Gilmore, he gave, oh gosh, why is his name slipping me? Patrick Mahomes, thank you, a hug after the game the other night. Came up to him, gave him a hug. They had a
pretty natural thing to do.
Face-to-face conversation without face masks on. And now,
weren't they all tested though right before the game?
Yeah, but
isn't that how it works?
He tested positive after the game. Patrick Mahomes was asked of it. He said, "I just had a mental lapse. I forgot that's what we weren't supposed to do that." So now he gave him a hug. Now Patrick Mahomes is on COVID watch. I think what the NFL needs to do.
Well, I don't know. What does that mean? He's on COVID watch. Just give him the test. If he has it, he has it. Right, if he doesn't, let him live his life.
They're going to continue to give him tests.
Are they afraid they'll give him a test and he'll test negative, but then maybe the I don't know, 6 hours later he'll test positive?
Who knows?
Because they don't understand this virus.
Yeah, we don't know this disease very well. So, that being said, what happens if Patrick Mahomes gets the coronavirus? What happens to the NFL season?
But if Patrick Mahomes can't end the NFL season, what happens to the Kansas City Chiefs? Well, they put the backup in.
But what this does...
Or they take their bye. I don't know.
What this does is this shows that close contact with anybody who might have coronavirus, even though he tested negative prior to the game with the Chiefs, and then 4 or 5 days later tested positive.
Well, then he probably got,
somewhere along the way.
Yeah, what's that called? When you
But then
infected,
Patrick Mahomes,
he got infected
this
after
is where
the game.
contact tracing comes into place, though. Patrick Mahomes, you could look back on the tape and you're like, okay, he got it. What if he got it from Stephon Gilmore? They had close contact.
But he didn't. But you're making okay. But he doesn't have it.
No, he doesn't have it.
No, okay.
If he gets it over the next few
I know,
days,
but you got to realize people don't really listen. They kind of hear this and then they hear
if he
things.
gets it the next
he does
few
not
days,
have it.
If Patrick Mahomes gets coronavirus, the biggest star in the league,
The biggest. He's one of them.
Super Bowl champion.
He's no Russell Wilson, but he's
Super Bowl champion, MVP of the Super Bowl. If he gets
he's no Tom Brady. Come on.
coronavirus from this one meeting, how can you tell me that guys coming face to face in the trenches aren't also going to get it? And at that point in time, they hugged for a second after the game and then moved on. It was after the game. It was congratulatory.
I guess I understand what you're saying. I'm not going to go there because it's just too many ifs. What ifs? What ifs? There's too many what ifs. I mean, you could rack your brain with what ifs all day.
But the NFL has to err on the side of caution for player safety, right?
Well, they got to test him every day. You know what? You hug a guy that ends up getting it, you get tested at least once a day, if
But
not
for
multiple.
player safety, that would seem very irresponsible from the NFL to say, we're going to continue, we're going to march forward, if they can look at this one contact tracing incident and be like, okay.
I understand what you're saying, but I disagree. I think, you know what, if he gets it and it's an isolated incident, then you know what, he sits out, the backup comes in.
But you don't look at things with objectivity. You
No,
look
I
at
do.
them with your own personal.
I do. I'm looking at the greater good. I'm not just looking at one isolated incident. I'm looking at the greater good.
Player
now,
safety is
if
not
a
the greater
majority
good.
of players start to get this, then yes, you're going to have to cancel the season. But that's not happening.
But if
this
you
is still very isolated numbers.
I'm saying if Patrick Mahomes gets coronavirus.
God, you're starting to sound like the news. I mean, you just take one little thing and you blow it up and make it way bigger than it is.
I'm just saying,
and scare people.
How could the NFL not, from an optics
Nothing's
standpoint,
even happened yet.
From an optics standpoint,
Nothing's even happened
nothing
yet.
has.
Now, if it
happened
happens,
yet.
let's have this conversation again. And I'll say, oh boy, look at this.
Jeff was right again.
No.
On the coronavirus.
Only if half the team gets it, yes. Or if 20 members of the team gets it.
Patrick Mahomes gets it, the NFL has to
No, they
do
don't.
away with their season. I guarantee
They
you.
do not.
We'll see.
He's one player.
We'll see.
You were talking about getting hit in the head with a golf ball when you were younger, and it hit a tree first, and then it bounced off the tree and hit you in the head.
The longest game of Plinko in that tree.
Here's a guy, he's 41 years old. He was out golfing with his buddies. I think this happened in Denver, Colorado. Yes, it did. And they were out on the golf course, and they came up on the 18th. So they got through most of the round, right? I mean, the very last hole, there's a bunch of elk. Have you ever seen an elk? Do you know how big they are?
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like horses. I mean, they're not quite as big as a horse, but they're bigger than a pony.
They make
They're giant.
They're big. Yeah. They have,
I mean, actually, you know what? They are as big as a horse, actually. I've seen them as big as a
Yes.
horse, if not bigger.
The one time I saw an elk up close, I thought it was very interesting how big it was. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was some kind of weird native horse to the area because it was in Arizona. I'd never been there before.
Yeah. The males can be very aggressive, especially if it's mating season. There's probably a lot of reasons. I'm not an expert, but I know just from talking to my friends that hunt that, moose and elk can be very dangerous. Well, anyways, these guys are coming up. There's a bunch of elk out and they're trying to, drive up there and kind of shoo them off a little bit. And this one male gets pissed off and starts chasing him. Now, they're in a golf cart. But still, the golf cart, how fast does a golf cart go? 10 miles an hour? Maybe 20 on a good day? An elk can run much faster than a golf cart. The elk comes up, and they got big antlers, like a deer, but much bigger, and spears a guy in his side.
Oh, no.
Rips his kidney in half.
Man.
The guy almost dies right there on the golf course.
Lacerated kidney.
You talk about, you would probably be rather hit by a golf ball any day than lacerated by an elk antler while just trying to wrap up your golf game. Now, these guys said they weren't chasing them. They weren't trying to be, rude or anything. They were just trying to play their game. They tried to shoo him a little bit. This thing got pissed off. They ran from it in the golf court, and it got the guy. He looks like he's gonna recover.
Wildlife is very brazen on the golf course, I've come to find out. One time there were about...
It's goose. Those geese are terrible. Or not geese, they're the goose. Yeah.
There's about 4 deer standing right in front of the tee box on a par 3 at a golf course I was playing at nearby where you grew up, actually. And we're like, oh, hey.
Which is in the foothills of Mount Rainier.
Oh, no, other area where you grew up.
I didn't grow up anywhere else. That's where I grew up.
In the Po, Port Orchard.
Oh, I didn't grow up there, but okay. My parents did live there for a while.
And you didn't have a bedroom in that house?
I lived there for 6 months before I went to college.
Oh, okay. So
it's on the peninsula of Washington, though. There's a lot of woods out there.
Yeah. There's 4 deer just standing there looking at us, because deer, that's what they do. They just look at you. And you're like, okay, move it. Go ahead, move. Move, deer. Move, deer. Come on, move. We're trying to play golf here. They just stand there looking at you.
You can fire a warning shot off.
But then you'll hit one of the deer, and then that was frowned upon at the golf course that had,
well, it's frowned upon everywhere.
Had houses on it. If the golf course didn't have houses on it, maybe we would have done that. But
were you playing Gold Mountain?
We were playing McCormick Woods.
Oh.
And so we're standing there for like 5-7 minutes. We're like trying to get the deer. We're like, eventually they'll move. Eventually they'll move. Eventually the next group behind us comes up. And we're like, crap. So what do we have to do? We have to take our balls. It was a par 3. So we just drive around the deers. They were in the area between the hole and the tee box. We drove around the deers, dropped on the other side of the deers, and played the hole as if it was a par 3 there. We turned like 180-yard par 3 into what ended up being an 90-yard par 3.
You could have just got somebody in a golf cart and ran out there and chased them off.
We tried. We tried. They didn't move. They didn't move. They didn't care.
And they're big enough. They're big enough to where if they turn on you, it's not really something you want to get involved with.
Jesus, these are the dumbest animals. I mean, not only is it displayed that they're the dumbest animals on the planet whenever you see them dead on the side of the freeway, but they're just standing there looking at you.